Hey, this is Wileen Benson, and you are on the Daily Gratitude Call, where we start every day in gratitude. Gratitude is the highest energy state that we can be in. It creates a frequency of positive vibration that attracts positive experiences into our lives. Hey everybody, this is Wileen Benson. This is our Daily Gratitude Call, and I want to thank you for being here live, and also those who are listening into the podcast. I want to welcome you, and I want to invite you to participate as if you were live. We're going to be doing a 90-second private silent meditation in just a moment. So if you haven't already, grab some paper and a pen, and we'll just give you an opportunity to write down whatever inspiration comes to you during this 90-second meditation. I was blessed to be on the very first call. Melinda Nichols, who is one of our regular participants here on the Gratitude Call, was inspired to do a weekly armor alignment. It's like putting on the armor of God and aligning your chakras and everything with just a really beautiful meditative experience that she walked us through this morning. I attended that call this morning, and I recommend that everybody try it. Melinda, do you want to just take a moment and just tell real quick how they can find out how to be on that call, and just like 30 seconds, tell us quickly about that?
Yeah, thank you, Wileen. So you can join the Facebook group Armor Alignment Call, and it's every Monday morning, 6:30 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time. And we just go through our armor of God and line that up with our chakra system and just polish everything up and kind of take note where we're at and what we need to change.
Awesome. Thank you. I just really appreciate her stepping into her power, Melinda. I really appreciate you stepping into your power in doing this. We've been working together in the architecture of life and in other ways as well, but that particular case study group that you were a part of, this was when you were inspired to put this together, and is something that you were already doing. And I'm just so grateful that you're opening it up for other people to be able to participate. I saw a limiting belief that was still kind of hanging out there inside of me that I hadn't noticed. So I was really grateful to have that opened up to me. And I think that on Monday mornings, that's a really great place for everyone to join, and then, come over here on our gratitude call at 7 a.m. Mountain Time right after that. And then Laura, I also want to mention, Laura Helmling was in that same case study group. And she also is stepping into her power and really sharing some of the genius that I've already known that she was a genius in a lot of ways. And I'm getting to see her inner genius in ways that I didn't even know that she had. And Laura is doing a nightly meditation to help you. I'm going to have you tell, Laura, because I wasn't able to get on last night for your first call, but I will definitely be there tonight. Do you want to just take 30 seconds and just share real quickly about that and how people can get on that call?
Yeah, for sure. It's a 10 to 15 minute time in the evening for us to unwind our minds, unwind our soul. And it really is a full soul experience where we look at our thoughts, our feelings, our body, our energy flowing through our body, and let go of the day, align ourselves with a vision, with where we want to be in the future, with what our dreams and goals are, but also just let it rest, putting it on the back burner so that while we sleep, our dreams can come to pass without any effort. And it seems like a lot to accomplish that in 10 minutes, but you'd be amazed. We just work on each center, and afterwards you can take time if you find that you have a spot that needs a little bit more work. But it's a process that I've been doing for months. and it's been extremely transformative. So I wanted to share it with all of you and help you hopefully have that, same result. And it's piggybacks off of your, Wileen, off of your gratitude emphasis, gratitude being, the most transcendent quality that we have of the heart.
Awesome. Thank you. And I noticed that Melinda started out her call with gratitude as well. So I just feel very just grateful for you standing in your power. And these are things, I think the world would say that there's competition. If you guys go to Lara's call or if you go to Melinda's call, then it's going to take away, they're like, you're not going to have time to do all of it or whatever. But they touch on such different things than we do here. And there's such a different genius. And there's so much available to us. The energy and the power that's available to us is, we don't even know all the things that are available to us. And I know that the things that you're inspired to participate in are going to be perfect and really increase your experience here on the gratitude call, that, all of us together are creating something really wonderful. I love, that idea, Laura. I'm really looking forward to being on the call tonight, because I know a lot of my clients have a hard time resting at night because they have so many worries and so many, things that they're engaged in. Like they got to try to figure stuff out, and they have a hard time letting stuff go at night. And for you to be able to walk us through letting things go, getting our soul at rest, which the soul includes like the mind, the body, the spirit, everything all together at rest, so that God can actually work behind the scenes. And that's what makes life easy, is letting God guide our path. And I'm just super excited to see how that works out.
Yeah, and you're all invited. And it's one of the things that we fail to relax very often is our will. We continue to make choices 24 hours a day.
Yeah. Thank you.
And that is a part of our soul, and we have to let it rest. Whereas like in the morning with you, Wileen, which is so fantastic, you activate the will. Okay. You activate. I don't even know if you realize how much you're doing. So and really, when I thought about how to bring this process to everyone, I wanted it to be a perfect complement to what you're doing.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah.
I so love
for
that.
you, because I love you and you are amazing. And there is no, thing is, God is so big, and the world is so big that he has expansive plans for each and every one of us to work together as the body of Christ. So
beautiful. Exactly. Oh my gosh, I couldn't have said it better myself. We're in this power of one. Thank you. I love that. I wanted to, and Laura, can you tell everybody how to get on your call, and or like if you have a Facebook group or whatever where they can find that information?
Yes. Yeah, for sure. It's a place to find rest for your soul. So a place to find rest.
That's the Facebook group.
Yep, that's the Facebook group. And all the links for the Zoom call. I am on camera, but none of you have to be,
Okay.
Be in your jammies. All comfy.
And you're at Central Time. It's 10 p.m. Excuse me, Central Time. Correct. So it'd be 9 p.m. I keep wanting to say a.m. 9 p.m.
Right.
Mountain Time, 10 p.m. Central Time, or whatever your time zone is. So
correct.
Awesome.
Yes.
Thank you.
Exactly. And the Zoom link is on the Facebook group.
Awesome.
And I'll post it in Breakthrough. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, I want to get over to our private meditation, but Robert, you've got your hand raised. What would you like to share quickly before we move over to our meditation?
From this experience, Laura, and I can't remember the other, Melinda's saying what they said. And one of the things I gained from this Tony Robbins was to have develop a group, a signature group. And I came up with DVV, devalued to valued to victory. And I think this is very enlightening what I'm hearing to create the feelings that people have, the pain, to go
Beautiful.
from devalued to value to victory.
Awesome. Thank you. I'm just going to give everyone that's on this call, whether you're live or if you're listening on the podcast, the opportunity and permission to go to our Facebook group, Breakthrough with Gratitude, and share any links that you have that are offering value to people that would be complementary to what we're already doing here on the gratitude call. Obviously, there's like, we don't want it to be like a sales fest or whatever, but if there's some free offering that you have that is gathers people into a place where there can be healing, or there can be like a lot of, just a lot of power that happens, that complements what we do here on the gratitude call, I want to just give you the permission to share that if you have a group that gathers people and or processes that help to support people. The focus that I am suggesting that we do today, and the reasons why I gave that little extra time this morning before we did our private meditation, is the word acknowledgement. And I think it was Robert who actually mentioned that word in our rounds of gratitude before we started our call, before we started the recording. And there's a lot, I wanted to definitely give acknowledgement to those who are providing value in my life, and also acknowledging my own choice to create this, my signature group, create this gathering place. That's part of the architecture of life, is creating a gathering place for people that are looking for rescue. There are people that are looking for hope. And I know that each one of us has our own special way that we get to do that for other people. So acknowledgement for your own ways that you provide value, and acknowledgement of others, they're providing value in your life. So I'm going to start the timer, and we're going to do a private, silent 90-second meditation on gratitude for acknowledgement. And we'll just see what other thoughts get to be shared. So 90 seconds, private, silent meditation on gratitude for acknowledgement. Begin. Right. I just want to share quickly, and then we'll open it up for some other shares. The first thing that came to me was acknowledging God for my inspiration, and acknowledging Christ for my faith. That's where my inspiration comes from, is when I connect with God, and my faith is always solid and true in God. And I also had the thought, thank you, Robert, for mentioning about Tony Robbins, and the thought that he shared about developing a signature group. because the architecture of life, that's the very first principle that I teach in the architecture of life, is having a gathering place, is what I call it. And I know that truth is out there and available to all of us. God's constantly sending out information, and all we have to do is just be open to receive it. Just asking the right questions, being open to receive new information. And the fact that he said that and I said that, that tells me that there's that truth is out there for anybody that wants to be open to receive it. Because I know that the architecture of life is definitely inspired. Who else has something that they would like to share about acknowledgement, what they received? Deepti?
Yeah, I am so grateful to all the people who are sharing their sacred medicine to this world, and without even knowing, they are adding value. Like, there may be so many people who don't attend this live but who are on the podcast, but at some point they're receiving some information that can be a turning point in their lives. So I'm very grateful to all the people on this world who think beyond their own self and are giving their own spiritual gifts and sharing it with the whole world.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. I think that is one of the challenges that people have, is that they are looking within themselves and they're like, nobody would want to hear what I have to say. But it is, I love that word, sacred medicine. It's sacred medicine. And if we keep it to ourselves, then other people can't benefit from that. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Laura.
Okay, I got unmuted. So what's so interesting is that when I was with Melinda in her armor alignment call, the area that needed improvement was the heart. And improvement in the sense of that it was a part that the energy was low, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And what I realized is that was because because of all the trauma I've experienced, I still struggle to have hope.
Mm.
And the cure is faith. So to hope in faith, that was what was in the insight, hope and faith, rather than to wait for a sign that I should have hope.
Mm.
Okay. So it's to hope and faith. And then as I'm here thinking about acknowledgement, the lack of acknowledgement was one of the things that damaged my heart early in life. But you think that when you receive acknowledgement, it'll heal your heart, but it's the other way around. When you heal your heart, when I heal my heart, I receive acknowledgement, because acknowledgement is the result of the healing of my heart. So acknowledgement, even though it's something we receive, it's something we actively create. So we're not sitting here as like passive, like we have the power to create the circumstances for that acknowledgement. Does that make sense?
Yes. Just like, I know this is just a simple example, but you and Melinda stepping up and choosing to make a difference in other people's lives. You've already been making a difference in your own life, but now actually making that public so that other people can participate in that too. That you taking that action, it's like there was some faith involved for you stepping up to that. And some hope that that's going to help people. And that now you putting yourself into the public, allowing them to participate with your sacred medicine now actually puts you in a place to be acknowledged.
Right. And it's like we need acknowledgement, but we can't act from that need. We have to know that we have the acknowledgement that we need from God. But at the same time, it's something that we can have faith that the acknowledgement will be there. Does that make sense?
Well, and you're actually acknowledging that you have something good to give to the world when you choose to take action on that too. So
Right.
it's like acknowledgement already exists now.
Yeah.
You are acknowledging
True.
yourself. And so now
Well,
you're opening yourself to acknowledgement.
and to put this in context, I spend like a gigantic amount of my time acknowledging others. Like that one thing that I learned from that lack of acknowledgement, which I know I've shared on this call before, Cypher in the Snow. You remember the poor kid that like in that little film, was I don't let anyone not be acknowledged for their gifts and just being amazing, valuable people. But then to think about receiving that was, is a whole nother, it just added a layer to my understanding of it. So yeah, I'm really grateful for that this morning.
Awesome. Thank you. I just have to mention too, that when you mentioned that, the movie Cypher in the Snow in a couple of weeks ago, whenever it was that came up, and we did post that in the Breakthrough with Gratitude Facebook group, so you can scroll down and find that, or just Google it. I had an amazing breakthrough because of that. And that was that something you've taught me, Laura, with like quantum physics, is when something is in your awareness, it exists.
Yes.
But when it's not in your awareness, it doesn't exist.
That's right.
And so
exactly,
this really plays into this idea of acknowledgement as well, because the breakthrough that I had was that there's abuse, but or like a bullying, an act of bullying where somebody is like picking on you, but that's one form of bullying. But even if there's an abuse where somebody's picking on you, they are acknowledging that you exist.
Yes.
Okay. So there
The
is
word
a level of acknowledgement, even though it's a negative acknowledgement. But to ignore someone completely, like what was the situation with this kid in the Cypher in the Snow, nobody knew that he existed. He was completely like, it was like he did not exist. And to me, that was like an even stronger form of bullying, is to just completely ignore. And it's like, I don't exist if I'm not acknowledged. It's like I don't exist.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to add that new other layer of understanding with this acknowledgement, and how important it is for us to acknowledge other people and to feel acknowledged, to acknowledge ourselves and to feel acknowledged.
Yeah. And by doing the things that we do, like with the gratitude call and, the things that we're starting, we give that acknowledgement, as you're saying. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. We have some other people that want to share some things. Tammy.
The thoughts that came to me were how grateful I am for the acknowledgement that I feel as I pray, feeling and knowing that God hears me, that He acknowledges and knows the sincere desires of my heart and is answering my prayers in the best way and time. I am grateful for His acknowledgement of when enough is enough, when I have proved myself and I am able to move from one experience to the next.
Wow, beautiful. So powerful, feeling that acknowledgement and that it's enough. I love that. Tyree, and then I think Robert had something.
So I have been thinking a lot about the parable of the 10 virgins, and as we are prepared as the 10 virgins, and we continuously make sure that we are prepared and have enough oil in our lamps, then we are acknowledged by Christ so that we can be accepted into the feast. And I had a dream last night and I couldn't figure out, I woke up at 4 and I was like, what does that mean? And it was when I was around 20, and this guy he tried on a couple people's glasses, and he could tell them unusual things by trying on their glasses. And so I asked him if we could trade glasses, and he acknowledged the pureness of my heart, and by offering his arm. And I just thought it was an odd dream. But I realized that we all can be acknowledged by Christ as we continuously prepare like the 10 virgins.
Beautiful. And I want to confirm that sometimes things will come to me in dreams, and they don't typically make a lot of sense, as far as like just real life. But I've gotten really good at being aware of what is trying to be told to me, what's trying to be like understood, where it's something that I maybe wouldn't receive in conscious thought, but allowing my mind to be at rest, like what Laura does in the evening, that would open our minds to be able to receive some of these, some acknowledgement for ourselves that we maybe wouldn't be able to receive in conscious thought. I really appreciate you sharing that, Tyree. Robert.
Well, it's really interesting with what Laura shared and what between the two of you, and I thought, well, was I acknowledged growing up? And I think I was acknowledged, so I appreciate that, the stories in there and that. But I thought, and that's one of the things what it came for me this weekend was, but yes, I was acknowledged, but I was devalued. And looking back 50 some odd years, how much pain I didn't recognize. I didn't give pain the value it needed, the recognition it needed in my life, and pushed and cast it out as unimportant. And now I'm realizing how valuable the recognition of pain, of feelings are to the human soul.
Oh, thank you, Robert. I appreciate you sharing that. And, as children, there a lot of times, we don't have as much power as we do as adults to stop the pain, to demand that we be valued. We don't always have that choice as a child, but as an adult, we can definitely let go of that belief that we don't have the power to be able to claim our value and begin acknowledging what is pain and what is acceptable, what we want to receive. Thank you.
I think that's right on.
Beautiful. Thank you, Robert. Kathy, and then Deep Tea.
So a couple of things that really jumped out to me. First of all, the root word of acknowledgement is know. And the whole idea of it is the knowing. So knowing and sharing the gifts that we all have, learning to edify and uplift with love and respect, acknowledging God and Christ for faith and guidance, like you said. But the other thing, and I don't remember the exact scripture, but in the scriptures it talks about one thing that offends God is the not recognizing and acknowledging his hand in all things. And I love on this gratitude call where we're giving gratitude for all of our blessings, but just knowing that all of those blessings, and when we talk about a blessing, I just attribute that to God. He blesses us with everything. And so knowing and acknowledging his hand in all things is pretty powerful.
Beautiful. I think acknowledging is very, 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 very close to gratitude. And I know I have read that scripture as well, and I don't know where to find it, but yes, acknowledging his hand in all things and expressing gratitude. Those are the two things that, if it's not done, is the most offensive to God. Thank you. Deep Tea.
So what came to me right now is everything starts with acknowledging your own self. Until we don't get that right, the God is acknowledging our, we are not stepping into our authentic self. So he keeps throwing up these people, everything to make us understand, to acknowledge our own value and power.
Beautiful. Thank you. We a lot of times get stuck in patterns, don't we, of situations that will force us to acknowledge our own greatness. But if we're not willing to step into it, then we have to keep having these experiences that would force us to step up. Thank you.
That's what is the new thing that I discovered today, that I will have to acknowledge my free will over and above my programming.
Beautiful. I really appreciate that. And acknowledging our authentic self, that's what opens the way for us to be able to acknowledge other people too, because we can only see in others what we can see in ourselves.
Exactly.
Thank you. Robert, did you have one last thought?
Oh, I did not. Thank you.
You just forgot to mute. Okay, awesome. Let's go ahead and take a deep breath. Just grateful for all that has been shared. I know we could continue to share. This has been a really wonderful subject to open today, and I encourage you to go to our Facebook group, Breakthrough with Gratitude, and continue your shares there. And take one more deep breath. And for a moment, just acknowledge yourself. Allow yourself to be connected fully with God and allow Him to show you through His eyes and acknowledge through His eyes your authentic self and who you really are. The ability that you have to inspire others, the amazing talents and gifts that you have within yourself to serve mankind, to serve yourself, to serve your family, to serve God. And for just a moment, just let the cloak of humility, maybe the counterfeit of humility, let that drop for just a moment and just allow yourself to see yourself fully as the amazing person that you are. And listen for any limiting beliefs that might be showing up of past training about it's not okay to toot your own horn or whatever. Just allow yourself to see yourself fully. Just drop the shroud and allow yourself to see who you are and the greatness and the potential that is within you. And write down any limiting beliefs that would stop you from allowing other people to see you this way as well. And examine the cost of that limiting belief. And if you are seeing that limiting belief is actually limiting you and the way that you can serve other people, I invite you to decide right now, make a choice if you want to keep that limiting belief or if you want to give yourself permission to let it go. And if you're ready to give yourself permission to let that limiting belief go and to choose into something different, say yes.
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 Awesome.
Yes.
And so now is the time to choose some new beliefs and go back to that place where you can see yourself authentically through God's eyes, through Christ's eyes, seeing yourself with His pure love, and knowing that only when you step fully into being your pure, true, authentic self is when you can truly be acknowledged by other people, when they can really see who you are. And so choose some new beliefs that will allow you to step forth being completely open, pure, authentic, true, so that you can be acknowledged. And so that you can acknowledge yourself through Christ's eyes, and that God can acknowledge you as a good and faithful servant. And with these new beliefs, with this new power that you've seen within yourself, this new authentic and true power that you've seen within yourself, what is the one most important thing that you could do today? What's your inspired shortcut to stepping forth and becoming and being this true authentic self in its most powerful way? And as we are at the end of our time today, I'm going to invite you all to go to our Facebook group, Breakthrough with Gratitude, share within that group. This is an opportunity for you to be acknowledged. Go to that Facebook group and knowing that there are going to be some people who are not on this call that possibly don't know you the way that we know you. And this is an opportunity for you to be authentic and to share yourself in your true power and use these new beliefs to really help you to take action on that, on the inspired shortcut that you have, and also on sharing within the group. And I want to thank all of you and acknowledge all of you for the gift that you are to my life. I love you all, and we'll look forward to being back together tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time right here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks so much for listening. And I encourage you to tune in every day to the Daily Gratitude Call. And the Daily Gratitude Call happens live every weekday morning. I'd love to have you join. So to find out how to join live, go to my website, WileenBenson.com. Thanks for tuning in.